Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another airport update. This one is being recorded on January 31st of 2025. And this one, as you can tell already, is a bit of a throwback update. And there's an entire section of PTS that's missing right now. But that is for good reason. That reason being, this airport update's time frame is the late 2010s, and at that time, that section where the signature ramp is now and Terminal B is didn't exist yet. So yeah, it looks a little different if with that whole section of the airport missing, and also all the traffic we've got going on here, or lack thereof, or, well, for the time it's pretty busy here, but regardless, a whole different type of update here. I've done a couple, like, historical, in quotes, updates in the past, because I have a lot of models that just fit in with the late 2010s, so yeah, I like to break them out. This is the first one of those for PTS, and if you guys like it, of course, I'll do some more of these with the older models I have. It's crazy to think that these are now considered older. Feels like just yesterday where I'd see things like the Delta MD-88 flying around. But regardless to all that, let's go ahead and dive right into the update. As per usual, we're going to go ahead and start over here on the cargo ramp, where we have this FedEx Airbus A310. And this aircraft arrived in from Memphis, and it will be making the turnaround to Memphis. Got a lot of action going on around the aircraft right now. Cargo being reloaded onto the jet. Fuel truck pulled up for just a bit of a top off before they head back down to Memphis, Tennessee. And on the runway, just pulled out from the cargo ramp not too long ago, we have this Kalitta Charters Boeing 727-200. This aircraft arrived in on an auto parts charter from Detroit YIP, and it will be making the short hop back up to Detroit Willow Run as of right now, as it lines up on runway 18. Moving on from Kalitta over there on runway 18, we have first in line for takeoff after the 727 departs. We have a new model from 3D Design Deck, a new company up there in Canada. They make 3D printed Dash 8s and Metroliners and Challengers and 737s. They got quite a bit of variety up there. Mainly Canadian and some like European airlines right now, but this, like, I want to say the first, don't quote me on it, this is like the first North American, or sorry, United States registered aircraft in their product line, in 1 to 400 scale, that being a NetJets Challenger 600. And this aircraft, in sakes of the update, came in from Columbus CMH, aka the NetJets headquarters, and this aircraft will be departing to Fort Lauderdale in Florida today, right after the 727 clears off. And I have nothing but great things to say about this little model here. Such great detail packed into such a tiny model. For being 3D printed, I could compare it to like a Gemini jet or an NG model. It's just terrific. I'd have to do a review on it at some point to show it off even further, but for right now, there she is, the NetJets Challenger 600, courtesy of 3D Design Deck up there in Canada. Go give them a go, check them out on Instagram, and of course, maybe even give some of their models a check out. I mean, they're a little on the more expensive end, but you get what you pay for. It's totally worth it. Anyway, going from a great high quality 3D printed aircraft to a lesser one. Well, mainly because I do the decaling myself. But we have a Phenom 300, privately owned and operated, of course. This aircraft arrived in from Greensboro, North Carolina, and is now departing to Chicago Midway Airport. Second in line for takeoff. And now from that, we will move over to Terminal A, which at the time was the only terminal on PTS's airfield, besides the private terminal over there, like where Sun Country is. But yeah, we move on to gate B5? No, B6. Yeah, B6. All right. We had this Delta Connection CRJ 200 operated at this time by Comair, the formerly Cincinnati-based regional carrier. This aircraft arrived in from Cincinnati CVG on a very short hop and is just being serviced again for the hop back over to Cincinnati CVG. And next door, we have another Delta Airlines aircraft that is now long gone, but forever missed by AvGeeks and travelers alike. We have this McDonnell Douglas MD-88 of Delta. The aircraft arrived in from Atlanta ATL just a couple minutes ago and is being unloaded. And fuel truck is pulled up on standby to refuel the aircraft for its turnaround flight to Atlanta. Next door, we have a bit of excitement in this medical diversion, Air Canada CRJ 200. This aircraft was originally flying from, where did this come? Well, it came from Toronto and was destined for Atlanta, and it diverted here because a passenger fell ill, but fortunately they were able to get on the ground rather quickly, and PTS medical staff and police are on standby to assist with whatever they shall need. And the flight will be continuing on to Atlanta after the medical situation is under control. Next, we have an empty gate, and that gate will be filled by this Delta Airlines Embraer E145. Oh, the sun's deciding to come out and making the lighting all weird. Delta Airlines E145 operated by Shuttle America. This aircraft arrived in from New York LaGuardia, and it will be departing to New York LaGuardia once again after the turnaround. Moving on down here, we have an Allegiant Air MD-80. This aircraft arrived in from Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is just beginning preparations to head back to Vegas. Should be departing within the next hour or so. At the time, in lore, Allegiant did operate to PTS, and at some point in the 2014 through 2017, just give or take, they did pull out of PTS. But not to spoil anything, I plan on them to come back. I just need to acquire some Allegiant models in the new livery. I have an A320 with sharklets in the new Allegiant colors, but I'm pushing more towards being having the new Allegiant Maxes, the 737-8 Maxes flying out of here over the A320. So I just need to buy a Gemini Allegiant Max for that to happen. But in the meantime, get to enjoy this old classic Travel Is Our Deal. I miss when Allegiant used to have that on their planes, and when Allegiant had a more interesting fleet than all E320. Remember when Allegiant had MD-80s and 757s? Yeah, I'm that old. Regardless to that point, next up we move to the final aircraft of the update, that being the Sun Country Airlines 737-800. At this time, Sun Country also did have regularly scheduled service to PTS, not just charter flights. This aircraft arrived in from Sun Country's hub in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and that is where it will be heading back off to, as it is being pushed back right now. And folks, I think that will do it for this throwback update for PTS. Of course, as always, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and if you haven't already for some reason, hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. And yeah, that'll do it, y'all. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you all in the next airport update.